is here and the air is just so cool and crisp. I have a lot of work to do to prepare for winter. With my husband being gone, it puts a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. It's not always easy, but if it needs to get done, I will find a way to get it done. So let's see what today has in store. Every fall, I plant as much garlic as I could possibly stand planting. That way, the next summer I have an abundant harvest. But with the way that my life has been lately, I have not had time to grow garlic. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually digging up garlic bulbs that have been in the ground for 2 years. And I'm hoping to find some garlic that will be plantable, but I'm not really sure. After a lot of digging, I actually did find some garlic that looks like it might be promising. It's not as much as I had hoped, but some of it does definitely look like it will grow. I'm just enjoying my peaceful cup of coffee before the long day of work ahead. The other day we had some visitors that we had to chase out. It is that time of year where the cows are starting to come off of the national forest because they're running out of food, so we tend to see a lot of them this time of year coming through our property. I don't always cook up a breakfast like this, but I was really excited to use some of the potatoes and onions that I just harvested from my garden, and I had some leftover venison that needed to be used up, so I decided to throw together this quick and easy venison breakfast hash. Using foods that we have grown ourselves, foraged for, or hunted is one of my biggest passions, and if it were up to me, I would never go to the grocery store, but of course there are just some things that we can't produce ourselves. Living this way is so much healthier for you, not just because of the foods that you're eating, but the fact that you have to put in the work to get the foods. This venison breakfast hash was delicious and everybody loved it. I will definitely be making it again. When I left to go visit my husband, I actually ended up giving away my chickens, but my neighbors are so nice that they were willing to give me some of them back. So I am getting the chicken coop all cleaned out, not just to get them back, but to get it ready for winter. I probably won't do another deep cleaning until spring. So I'm raking up all of this chicken manure and spent straw, and I will be making a new compost pile to put it in. I prefer to use straw because it breaks down a lot faster than the wood shavings, and it also just seems to last longer than the wood shavings. Those usually have to be cleaned and replaced a lot sooner. And I've also found that putting straw in the nest boxes works a lot better. All of this is going to be so great for my compost to put in my garden, but it's going to need a lot of time to break down. I don't even know if it will be ready by spring, but I am going to start composting it. That way I can use it as soon as it's ready. Cleaning out the chicken coop is a lot of work, and it's always one of those things that I dread, but I was actually pretty excited this time around because I was just so excited to get my chickens back. After going without them for a couple months, it has just brought me so much joy to be able to bring them back and look forward to having some fresh eggs again soon. I will say, when the job is done, it is a very good feeling to look at a clean chicken coop. I decided to put this tarp in as a liner to not only protect the floor, but make cleaning a little bit easier next time. This straw was a brand new bale of straw when I had left, but our goat had helped herself to making a mess of it, so I just decided to rake it up because it's still good and it will work just fine for bedding for the chickens. I had just enough for a thin layer of bedding for the chickens, just so I can get them back. I will probably add another layer as it gets closer to winter, but this will do just fine for now. So I just need to put everything back together and get everything ready to get my chickens back in the next day or so. Now I'm just going to rake up the remainder of this hay to start my compost pile. I have this old culvert that is perfect for a little compost pile. I just have to reinforce it and try to make it to where the dogs can't knock it over and get into it, and then I will have the perfect compost pile. I'm going to put all of the stuff that I cleaned out of the chicken coop into this pile, and then throughout the winter and the rest of the year I will just be adding any kitchen scraps that I don't feed the chickens, like eggshells, banana peels, and onions and stuff like that. I strive to live as low waste of a lifestyle as possible, so I feed as much stuff as I can to the chickens, and of course, before throwing things out to the animals, I try to use up leftovers in as many ways as I can. I do not typically like eating leftovers as they are, but just like that venison breakfast hash I made, I repurposed some leftover steaks and made them into a breakfast, so you just have to think outside the box and be a little bit creative. Now I'm just going to pile some of these rocks around the bottom of the compost to hold it in place and keep the dogs from digging under it and making a mess. We have no shortage of rocks around here, so I'm also just putting some larger rocks around to help make it even sturdier. This is pretty much a temporary compost solution. Eventually I will build one with wood and make it a little bit more user-friendly, but for now this is going to work. I have a spot to put my compost and the animals will not be able to get to it, so that's all that matters to me right now. The day has finally come where my chickens are coming home, so I am going to give them some food and water before I head out to go get them. That way everything is all set up and ready for them when they get here. I'm actually going to start looking into mixing my own chicken feed, but for now I just try to buy the most natural stuff that I can. I like to know that whatever I'm feeding them and they are making their eggs out of is somewhat healthy and not filled full of a bunch of junk. So I do the best I can to feed them the best that I can. Here comes Mama Kitty going to check out what I'm doing. I got 6 hens and 1 rooster, and I'm very excited to be having fresh eggs again soon. In the springtime, I will be incubating some eggs and hatching those out for meat chickens and probably some more layers. But in the meantime, I am just so happy to be able to have my chickens back and to get fresh eggs every day. I plan on setting up a heat lamp on a timer in hopes to get eggs throughout the entire winter. And right now I actually don't have any nest boxes, so I'm just using a dairy crate with some hay in it, and that will do for now. When I say the work is never done on the homestead, I mean the work is never done on the homestead. I have moved this pile at least one other time this summer, and now I'm moving it back to the original place that it came from because it's getting to be cold outside and I haven't had to have a fire yet, but when the time comes, I want my firewood to be easily accessible and ready to go. We actually don't even have firewood yet, other than a small pile of scrap pieces from last winter that were too wet to burn. So for now, I'm just gonna go split those and stack those on the porch so I have some wood that's ready. You may think I'm crazy, but I actually love everything about cutting, splitting, and stacking firewood. It is one of my favorite tasks on the homestead, and it's very good exercise, I will say that, and it definitely helps to keep you young and keep you in shape when you are doing this kind of work all of the time. Now I'm going to load up the wheelbarrow and head on over to the porch where I'm going to stack the firewood. It has actually already froze one time this year when I wasn't home, but since I've been home, it's been down in the low 40s at night, so I imagine any day now I'm going to be cold enough to want to build a fire. I probably only have about enough wood here for 3, maybe 4 days of fires. If I don't have a fire all day long and all night long, I can probably stretch it a little further, but I'm gonna have to do something here pretty soon, and I'm hoping that I won't have to use this up before my husband gets home. It's not that I can't cut firewood on my own, because if I have to, I absolutely will, but it would definitely be a lot nicer if my husband was here to help me, because cutting firewood is actually a lot more work than you think it is. We always think we're gonna go out and cut a bunch of wood and sell it, and we get through about 2 loads and we are just exhausted and thinking to ourselves, why did we decide to do this? This is a lot of work. I'm so glad my kids like helping and working around the homestead, and I'm just so blessed that they get to grow up and live this lifestyle. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you think of the lifestyle that I live. Let me know how you would do things differently, or if you would. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed my videos, please make sure to like and subscribe so you can see more of them.